let's talk about a movie that dares to ask, what if the most honest war film ever made was about children throwing snowballs? The Dog Who Stopped the War is a 1984 Quebecois classic that most of you have probably never heard of. But trust me, this isn't just a cute kid's movie. It's a brutal, unflinching look at the mechanics of conflict, leadership, and sacrifice. And yes, there's a dog. But don't let that fool you. This film has more to say about war than Saving Private Ryan ever did.
You're not wrong, Jason. But I'd argue the film's power comes precisely from its innocence. The children aren't playing war, they're playing a game. A game that slowly, inevitably spirals into something darker. The director André Melancon understood that the core of tragedy lies in the gap between intention and consequence. These kids start with a snow fort competition. They end with a casualty. That's not just a metaphor for war, it's a mirror to how adults justify every conflict, from playground scuffles to global invasions.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so subversive. The film tricks you with its cozy Quebecois winter setting, the adorable dog, the whimsical soundtrack, but halfway through, you realize the snowball fights have actual tactics, formations, even a standoff that feels like a Vietnam ambush. The kids use ice balls, they build elaborate forts, and then the leader, Luke, starts making calls that prioritize winning over safety. It's like watching a dictator be born, and the film never judges him, which is the most chilling part.
That's the essence of great tragedy. No clear villain. Luke isn't a bad kid. He's charismatic, inventive, and genuinely believes in his cause. But his charisma blinds his followers. The film shows how easily a group dynamic can turn a game into a war when one person's vision overrides collective wisdom. Melancon uses the children's faces, their expressions shifting from joy to determination to fear, to show the psychological cost. The snow becomes a blank canvas for our own projections of heroism and folly.
And the visual storytelling is incredible on a budget. The wide shots of the snow-covered playground feel like a battlefield, with the fort as a bunker. There's a scene where the kids are crawling through the snow and the camera stays low so we feel the cold, the vulnerability. The director doesn't need explosions. He uses the crunch of snow under boots, the whistle of a snowball, the silence after a hit. That's immersive filmmaking. It's raw, it's real, and it makes you forget you're watching amateurs.
But what anchors the film emotionally is the dog, isn't it? The dog is the only character without agenda. He represents unconditional loyalty, but also the collateral damage of conflict. When he gets hit, and I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it, it's not just a plot point. It's the moment the game stops being a game. The children's reaction, that collective realization, is the film's thesis, that every war has an innocent casualty that breaks the illusion of glory. The dog is the conscience they all ignored.
And that's why this film haunts me, because after the accident, there's no easy resolution. The kids don't learn a neat lesson. They just sit there in the snow with the weight of what they've done. The final shot, the fort standing empty, the dog limping away, it's devastating. It says, this is what you leave behind. Compare that to most war films, where the hero gets a triumphant funeral. Here, there's no glory, no redemption, just a cold, empty field.
Which is precisely why this film is timeless. It strips war of all its pomp and lays bare the grief. Melancon doesn't lecture, he shows. And because the characters are children, we can't dismiss their actions as just a game. We see ourselves in their foolishness. The film's legacy is that it remains one of the few works of art that captures the true cost of conflict without preaching. It lets the snow speak and the silence after the storm. That's why, decades later, it still cuts deep.
If you haven't seen The Dog Who Stopped the War, do yourself a favor and track it down. It's streaming on some platforms, and it's worth every minute of your time. Let us know in the comments what's a film that changed how you think about war. And if you love this kind of deep dive into underrated cinema, smash that like button and subscribe. We've got more hidden gems coming your way. Trust me, this channel's gonna be your new favorite rabbit hole.
And as you watch, remember, the games we play as children often foreshadow the adults we become. This film is a mirror, but one that asks us to look beyond our own reflection, at the snowball in our hand and the friend across the field. Perhaps the most radical act is to stop throwing and start listening. That's the quiet revolution this film proposes. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep questioning the stories we tell ourselves.